go to a selection panel, you have 10 minutes to present, panelists have 10 minutes to give you feedback, and then from there you're usually either accepted, everything's wonderful, you're ready to go to panel, or everything's great, your idea is wonderful, but you might still have a few things that you need to address. Kind of your income portion of your budget might need to be stronger. Or you might need to think about your sustainability piece a little bit more. So things like that. And you have 30 days to provide that in writing. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, what we do. We give up to $1,000 for any of your startup costs. And we provide coaching and resources from the beginning through the life of your venture. So if you start your venture now and say you're 20 years old and you're still doing this at the age of 25, we'll still help you. We'll still provide you with any support that you need at that stage. We have a weekly e-newsletter that goes out that has grant opportunities, scholarship opportunities, resources in the city, national resources, competitions, all kinds of things. So we really try to provide as much support as possible, and also to connect you with other existing organizations or individuals that have expertise in the fields that you need. And so just to give some examples of what, I'll give some examples of college-age venture teams. We've got a team at NYU called Promoting Immigrant Voices in Education. And at NYU, what we did was we actually had a challenge aspect where it was kind of a competition. Everyone that was eligible got the seed funding and the support, but one team was selected as a grand prize winner and they got $10,000. And so that was a partnership that we had with NYU. It's in its second year, but last year we had this team win, and what they do is they work with the schools and work with other organizations in the city to help recently immigrated parents of public school children understand their rights. So that's what they're really about, telling them about translation services that are available and other support that they can have as recent immigrants, that a lot of whom are undocumented. So that's one example of a team. We have another team that's called Threads That Teach, and they go into elementary schools that have cut their arts funding, so they don't have arts programming at their schools. And they help the students design an image that reflects their school community. They print these images on t-shirts, and then they teach the students business skills to sell the t-shirts, and they also sell the t-shirts to their own volunteers, students at NYU. But they're teaching them not only design skills, but also these business skills, and then all of the profits from those t-shirts go to arts funding at their schools, to actually starting kids programming. So those are a couple of examples, but I'd love to hear, kind of open it up and see if you guys, one, have questions, and two, have ideas, or things that you're really passionate about that you would like to do something about. There, first questions? Is there any questions up here?
Well, no, I don't have a question. I just was going to bring out an idea.
Sure.
Like police brutality. Like I had, I'm interested in it. I wanted to start something like so that people can know their rights when it comes to the police and different things.
So that's a great idea. It's a great start. That you have. Do you have any other thoughts in mind as to what kind of club or organization that you would want to?
That's only like one idea. Like
start?
I have some other ideas of other things that I want to do, so I don't know which one yet.
And that's something. So we ask that everyone that you work in a team. You work in a team of 2 or more. Minimum is 2. There's no maximum as to how many people work together. But say you're interested in a lot of things and you want to start up a bunch of things. We ask that one person is what we call the lead venturer, the lead contact person for that team. So say you want to start up you can be on more than one team, you just can't be the lead venturer for more than one team. Mhm.
So what do you mean by two? Like it would have to be me and somebody else
And
in this
what?
political club?
No.
Like it'd be somebody else that, like a friend of mine who
Yep.
wants to do the same thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it could be a friend of yours that's here in New York. It could be someone that's, it doesn't have to be even in the same city, as long as you're working with someone else. And you can, show that they do have an active role in your organization. Definitely. And we're an international organization. Just kind of give a little background about Youth Venture. We were launched 11 years ago. Has anyone heard of the organization called Ashoka? So I'll give you a look. So Ashoka was founded 26 years ago by a man named Bill Drayton, who also founded Youth Venture. But Ashoka was founded to support social entrepreneurs, to support leading social entrepreneurs, people that were really starting up these social ventures that could revolutionize the industry they were working in. So Bill Drayton always says, it's social entrepreneurs don't teach a man to fish, but they revolutionize the fishing industry. And there's actually an Ashoka fellow who has revolutionized the fishing industry. So, yeah, so that's what the Ashoka fellows are really starting these things, maybe small, maybe in their village, but it's very replicable. And I think it's around 50% of Ashoka fellows end up influencing, changing government policy within 5 years of becoming an Ashoka fellow. So, these are really innovative, leading social entrepreneurs. And what happened was, this was in the early 90s or so, they were bringing Ashoka fellows together who were working in the same fields. And from there, so they were bringing in Ashoka fellows, that were all focused around education. And two things kind of came out of that. One was that most of the Ashoka fellows were involving youth in their community as a resource in their own ventures. And then the second thing that came was that most of these fellows had some sort of transformative experience during their youth years of leading change in their own communities. And so that really, they felt, enabled them to lead and create change later in their lives. And so we really believe that having that experience during your youth years leads you to become more active throughout your lives. And our vision, as is Ashoka's, is everyone a change maker. So really getting everyone in society to play a role in, changing their communities. And so we see as, as society gets smaller, bigger, whatever, as more and more problems start to arise, and we need more and more people who are change makers, who are willing to step up, willing to lead that change, coming up with innovative and creative ideas. And we're also seeing that corporations, those are the people that companies are looking for. Entrepreneurs, people that have these innovative ideas. And so that's actually how we're working with Staples and Starbucks. They really are seeing how Youth Venture is changing the way that not only young people see themselves, but also the way that society sees young people. And really having the ability to lead change. And I'll give you an example of, I don't know if anyone's heard or seen Divine Bradley, or heard of the Hip Hop Project. There's a documentary called the Hip Hop Project, also a group called the Hip Hop Project. But a guy by the name of Divine Bradley, when he was 17, he started an organization called Team Revolution with his friends. And what they did was, Divine had moved from Bed-Stuy to Canarsie. He was getting into a lot of trouble himself. It came to a turning point where one of his friends was murdered. And that was kind of the point in his life where he said, you know, I really want to do something positive. And I want to help my peers do something positive. And so he just started asking, you know, his friends what would keep them from joining a gang? What would keep them from stealing and robbing people? And they said, you know, they just wanted a place to go. And so he started inviting them to his mom's front porch. And I've seen pictures of, you know, all these teenagers with